Elise here, and you're listening to The Future Voices. Welcome everyone to the Future Voices podcast. I'm your host Elham, or as many of you know me, Eddie. Before I start this episode, I just want to thank you for all the support and kindness. Every episode that came out, you just contacted me and shared me all your insights, the bright sides, the bright moments that you've noticed, and all the flaws. And I'm assuring you, this series of podcasts is getting better and better by getting the help of you watching us and giving us all those constructive reviews. But let's just jump into this episode. I am eager to start this episode because Shadi and I are going to lift the curtain on one of the hardest yet most important challenges in childhood: bullying. Thank you for being here again. And I have to tell you, I am so eager to this conversation because this is one of the most important things and one of my toughest concerns in dealing with kids.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Ellie. I'm so glad to be here again with you.
I'm happy to have you.
Thank
So, to open up this conversation, I just want to go through some numbers which were so shocking to me, and based on these numbers that I have across the world, there are 30.5% of adolescents reported being bullied back in time when they were kids. This number is unbelievable. I have some numbers of the US, the UK, and most of these numbers are going between 40 to 50% of people, I'm just saying regardless the age, who has been being bullied back in time when they were kids. Among these bullies, we can see the cyberbullying and the maybe physical ones. So these numbers are really shocking. But my very first question and my main question right here is, what are those very specific and subtle changes, maybe behavioral or emotional, that parents can tell their kids are being bullied?
You know, bullying doesn't usually start with big, huge signs. It's just like more like small changes in a child's normal behavior or mood. For example, a boy who used to talk a lot at dinner suddenly gives one-word answers. Or a child who loved spending time with friends now started spending time alone. These small changes can be signs. And also quick frustration or some changes in sleep patterns or appetite. Even some physical pain like headache or stomachache, and feeling dizzy, tiredness.
My question right here is, how can a parent or maybe teacher tell the difference between just a bad day or just a phase and this kid is there is a chance that this kid is being bullied?
Yes, exactly. It often looks like having a rough week, actually.
Exactly.
Or growing up sometimes. If you let their kids up,
just
growing up. Exactly. The point is about the time when these signs usually lasts for about 2 weeks or more.
All right.
We can see this as red flags.
Okay. So the time can tell us the difference. Okay. There's this thing that I keep hearing from parents. They I'd say I couldn't notice it earlier on because I would say to myself that if there was something going on, he would tell me. Like him and I, the kid and I, we have this very strong relationship that he would come to me if something was going on. But in most cases, we notice that the kids, they don't go to the parents or the teacher to just inform them what's going on. Why is that? Why would they hide from their parents and their teachers?
Yes, exactly. The kids usually hide.
Yeah.
But the reason is not just because they don't trust adults. Kids usually hide because they're afraid. They are sometimes concerned that bully will find out. Okay? And even at ease, some kids feel embarrassed and they blame themselves. So that's why they usually hide it.
I see. Okay. I've been speaking to parents about this specific topic, and there were some patterns. There were some stories that were repeating again and again. And it was mostly about kids claiming they're suffering from some physical pains, like stomachache or headache, and whilst there is no evidence, like there are no medical causes. And I just want to know if that's a real thing, that they are actually experiencing it, or they just use that to pretend to avoid the situation.
No, first of all, I should say that they're not pretending.
Okay.
And the pain is real. Okay.
All right.
But it's driven by stress, not illness. If a child is under constant stress, so their bodies usually goes in fight or flight mode.
Okay.
And then the brain is always telling that you're not safe, there's danger. So then it causes stress, and these constant stress will cause pain, like a stomachache, or a headache. So, but as I mentioned before, this pain is not driven by illness; it's driven by stress.
I see. Okay, I see. Still, maybe the adult. They need more evidence. They need more clues. They need more signs to find out whether it's something really worrying or not, right? So does this whole situation affect on their function also? I mean, I want to hear some specific signs in changes in their function, maybe at school or at home.
Yes, exactly. It causes some effects in their concentration, even their hobbies, even their grades. Bullying takes up space in the child's mind. So the kid is always thinking about what will happen in the school. So they cannot concentrate well.
Exactly.
Even in their hobbies, we can see that the child suddenly quits soccer game. But it's not because that they don't like the soccer anymore. It's just because maybe the bully is on the team. Okay. Or suddenly a child might quit art club, not just because they don't like art anymore. It's just about this fact that the place is not feel safe or comfortable anymore.
Exactly. Going through your example, let's just stick to that. In all these different environments, there are others. There are other kids. There are some bystanders,
Yeah.
And my question is, what is their role? How they can help the bully to keep going and to keep bullying the kid, or they can make the bully stop his behavior.
They have huge role in bullying. When kids just watch and stay silent, they will get more power.
It makes sense because the bully he feels supported
Mhm.
and he find no reason to change his behavior.
That's why we usually tell parents that teach your kids to speak up to support the victim, because the silence is not neutral.
Exactly. Yes, I agree on that. Among the stories that I've heard from parents, I found some patterns, but I want to leave it to you. I want you to let us know what are the sub factors that a kid can be most targeted.
Kids who are different in some ways are usually easier targets.
Yeah, that's what I thought also. But different how?
For example, physical differences, cultural differences, or personal differences.
Yeah.
If I want to tell you an example, for physical differences, height, weight, or even disabilities. For cultural, accent, different first languages, or
Yeah.
wearing different clothes.
Yeah.
And for personal differences, we can mention being very shy, or on the other hand, being very talented. And bullies often look for something noticeable to turn into weakness, especially in environments where diversity is not valued. But Ellie, the sad part is that the thing that can make a child unique or interesting turns into the reason to bully them.
That's sad. Let's be practical. Can parents and educated do anything to flip this story, to change their flaws and weaknesses into their strengths?
Yes, sure, of course they can. I usually tell the parents that don't wait until the board validate your kids, your child's differences. Start at home. First of all, start from yourself. Accept your kids' differences. Be comfortable with it, okay? And practice in home. Celebrate the differences. Talk about many role models that had so many differences, and talk about this in your home. I usually advise the parents that connect your kids to the communities or peers who see these differences as a power.
That's lovely. Yes, of course. That's really practical.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through one of the parts that you mentioned, the cultural differences. So there are some situations. I just would like to bring up this specific part because we are expats here. And we have a community of expats here. And there are some stories as being a foreigner or being expats, right? My question is there something that parents at home can do in regards to those cultural differences?
Yes, teaching, flexibility and adaptability is the key to actually be less targeted.
Yes, I feel like it's not like you don't celebrate your own culture anymore. It's just like you practice being more prepared for this new environment.
Yes, that's the point.
So let's see what can we do to equip our kids against bullying. I just want to hear some very helpful skills from you to teach to kids to become more bully resistant.
Well, we cannot bully-proof any kids, but we can teach them some tools and skills to be less vulnerable. The most important that I usually emphasize on, and this is emotion regulation, Ellie. It's very important. It's the key.
what that is. What's the emotion regulation?
You know, emotion regulation is a package
Okay.
of recognizing the emotions, because
Okay.
you know how much important emotions are.
Okay.
To recognizing, to speaking, to talking about the emotions,
Okay.
to process it and learn how to manage the emotions. It's very important in every aspect of kids' lives.
Yeah. I see.
And after the emotion regulations, we can also teach kids some tools like how to speak up, how to set boundaries, how to make eye contact. Normalizing help seeking, because kids need to know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting help, asking for help, and they should learn it.
Of course.
These details are so important to be less targeted.
Yes.
And they should also know, the kids should also know who their safe adults are.
Yeah.
And it's best if the parents do this before the crisis happen, not in the middle of this.
Yeah. I just remembered there might be some cases that the kid doesn't even recognize that he's being bullied. They just find it normal because they are new in this environment. And I'm trying to say they have no clue that this is categorized as a bully. So you mentioned that the parents need to prepare them beforehand, before the crisis. Should they bring some examples of these behaviors that can be categorized as bullies?
Yes, sure. Parents should first of all explain what bully is to the kids, because we don't have just one type of bully.
Yeah.
We have different types, and parents can teach it just with the pictures, with the stories. It depends on the kid's age.
Yeah.
And categorize it.
Yeah.
For example, we have physical bully, we have verbal bully, we have
behavioral.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, once the kid heard it beforehand from his parents, like specifically they heard it from their mom, once it happens, it just flashes back to their mind that she mentioned that whenever this happened to you, come straight to me.
Yes, exactly. But it's very important not to make the kids sensitive on this subject. We should prepare them, but not make them sensitive.
There's a silver lining, I see.
Yes,
yes, I get it. Thank you, Shadi, for being here again. And this was great. I really felt like this topic is one of the top important topics of all and to go through. And I'm so happy that you and I got to have just a little chat on it.
Thank you, Ellie. Happy to be here again. And I really like this topic. It's very important and happy to talk about this.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching us. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we would love to hear your ideas. And if you'd like to share some of your stories in this matter, we would like to hear it. Until the next time, stay curious and stay connected.